Okay, ready? Ladies Daydal, MA Connect TV standing backstage at the homecoming in Castlebar, County Mayo with a victorious Victor Rabei.
Once again.
Step into me here.
I'm here.
Congratulations, first round stoppage.
Thank you. I was kind of hoping for a few more rounds, obviously because of TV.
Yeah.
But I went in and I started jabbing, and I think I switched to southpaw, and the first kind of jab backhand, he took a knee, and then after that he just didn't want anything, and then that was it.
So obviously, you mentioned it, nail on the head there. You know, you would have likened the couple of rounds, especially for TV. Yeah. But even just, we're forgetting about the TV, just to get those rounds in, they're obviously really important for you at this early stage in your career.
Yeah, well, I've had plenty of rounds, to be honest. In my 5 fights before this, I had an 8-rounder and 3 4s and 1 3. Yeah. So I got the rounds. I'm happy. I'm where I should be. Yeah. And obviously, in the new year coming, the opposition will kind of the levels are going to step up, so you need the rounds before that, but we have the rounds. And
good stuff. So tell me about actually finding out about this card, because I mean, what a platform to be on, right? Like, how good is that?
Wow. Castlebar, the theatre here is phenomenal. Like the people they're literally above you, they're looking down at you, and everyone's screaming and roaring. It's brilliant.
It's
like, I think the
Coliseum.
Yeah, exactly, it literally is the Coliseum. It'd probably be the Coliseum of the West.
Yeah.
But it's brilliant.
Really, really good. So when did you find out that you were on the card?
After the Assassin, their last show on October 7th, Connor approached me and said, listen, get ready, there'll be a show on December 7th. And they just needed the fight between Ray and the guy he's fighting to be confirmed for them to kind of fully announce it. Yeah. But I knew that I was fighting since October 7th.
So the last time that I saw you, not in the ring, was at the Assassin Boxing Show in Tala. Yeah. How frustrating is it for you to like watch your teammates fight and to have to sit in the crowd, knowing that you're fresh, knowing that you're ready, like you can jump in there right now? Like, how frustrating is it?
I hate going to boxing events if I'm not fighting. Yeah. It's just, you're looking out and everyone's like, oh, why are you not fighting? And because I'm not fucking fighting. That's why I'm not. It's frustrating. I think to any boxer or any combat sports athlete, they feel the exact same. It's like once they see a ring, they kind of want to be in it and want to be part of the spotlight. But listen, for me, and I'd like to think that I've kind of matured a little bit, so I had to take a step back in order to take a few steps forward. So October 7th would have been a bit too early for me to step back in, as I've just recovered from an elbow injury and my thumb was at me before my last fight. So it's just a bit of time off and getting them rehabilitated. And that was just the push that I needed to kind of step on.
When you say mature, do you mean like in personally, or do you mean like...
Yeah, because Assassin have asked me, it's like, would you like to be on the October 7th? And I was just like, yes. And then I was like, hang on a second. It's like, I do, but I'm not fully ready yet. Yeah. And they said, listen, no stress. Whenever you're ready to get back into the ring, do. So as soon as I got back from Moldova, I was basically full-time training straight away. Yeah. And I've been paying more attention to the stuff that I should, like stretching or this or that. And I feel a lot better now. Yeah. I feel like a professional athlete, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. But you always, like, even from day one when I met you, you always struck me as professional in your way. Like, I mean, you take this very seriously, you know what I mean? Not that there's professional athletes out there who don't take it seriously, but you just have this sort of, you know, it's clear for me to see in you, you know where you're going and you know where you want to go.
Well, professional boxing, it's not work. I don't look at it as work. It's not a 9 to 5 where you have to be switched on between those hours. It's a life that you have to live. Yeah. So you can't, like, even outside, if I'm not training, I go home, I watch what I eat, I make sure I go to bed early enough at 10, half 10, stay off the phone or watching TV, 11:30, go to bed. Wake up the next morning, know I'm properly energized, have a good breakfast, go into training, train hard. It's a lifestyle. You kind of, like, boxing has to be first place for you, especially when you're in camp. When you're outside camp, you can kind of, I don't want to say cut corners, but take a bit of time back and kind of, your body does need that. Like 8 weeks, 10 weeks of intense training does break, like it breaks you. But like outside of camp, you can maybe train once a day for the entire week, but it's a lifestyle. You need to live it.
Absolutely. And how old are you?
25.
Yeah, see, like, to have that mindset at 25 is like very special, right? Because people only like click into that when they're like in their 30s. Do you know what I mean? Which is too late for a professional athlete.
Yeah, athletes, we kind of have a small window to perform. Yeah. So you don't get, like, especially at my weight, you don't see, apart from Floyd Mayweather fighting at 37 with 38, but we have a short window. So between, let's say, now and the next 6 years, 8 years, I need to make the most out of it. And the only way to do that is by putting in the work now. Yeah. It's like you put in 80% now, and then the 85, 90 is going to be when you're going to be at the top of the world, when you're having championship fights. But now it's every single percent that counts, even if it's going to bed that half an hour earlier or eating. Don't kind of, when you're in camp or when you're doing this, just eat clean for 5 days. I know it's like, it is tough, personally speaking, it is tough. I'm not going to say that I eat well every single day and even the weekends. We don't cheat, like, but it's just admitting to that and kind of taking it forward. It's like, all right, fair enough, I did this, I did that wrong, move on and do better.
How much does your coach Steve Denton play a part in this mindset?
Dramatically. Like, I'm with Steve, I wake up in the morning, eat, I go to the gym, I stay with Steve until I come back home in the evening. So I'm with him all the time. And it kind of, like, he has that, as in, like, I think he's one of the few boxing coaches in Ireland that he wakes up at 8 o'clock in the morning, he goes to the gym and he spends his entire day, and then he goes home at 8, 9 in the evening. So seeing that professionalism from him is kind of, it rubs off on me, and it kind of motivates me to do a little bit better. Yeah,
and when you're actually hitting pads, like, I've got a little bit of footage of you hitting pads with him earlier on. There's a very, very special connection between you that it's very hard to like pinpoint it, but it's just, I don't know, you sort of come alive when you hit pads with him, and obviously that makes sense. He's your coach, and you like train alongside him. He puts his faith in you, and likewise, you know what I mean?
We just click is the way I look at it. From day one when I walked into Steve's gym, we just clicked straight away. Where he's coach us first, but he's a very good friend of mine, and I feel like I can talk to him about absolutely anything. So we gel so well together, and I do know that we're going to go to the top.
What a special moment.
What a special
moment. Listen, well, the main event is about to start, so we definitely want to go down and see that. Any shout outs or thank you before I let you go?
I want to thank all my sponsors, Fulfill Nutrition, Mock Boxing, Lineup Sports, Fight Store, for all the tremendous support that they've brought me. I wouldn't be here without you guys, so thank you.
Victor Rabei for MMA Connect TV.